Welcome guys, this is Duel 31, yeah it's 31, and we're facing junkberserker112 again. I believe it's like the fourth time that I've been dueling him, but he's a really good dueling friend, and he wanted to duel me again, so I don't know, I said why not do it for a video. So I'm using my Dino-Rabbit deck. Last time I used it I believe was somewhere Duel 14 or 15, so I decided to use the deck again. He starts off with a tour guide, summoning another tour guide to exceed summon Leviathan Dragon. I'm like, yeah, I can beat that with Thunder King Ryo, who has 600 less attack. But in the damage step, when I attack it, I use Forbidden Lance to lower Leviathan Dragon's attack by 800. So he has only 1700, and I beat him by 200 points. Then I place Solemn Warning face down so I can negate any summon. Place Mystical Space Typhoon to get rid of any of his spells or traps that he might place face down later. And I place Starlight Road just in case he has something like Heavy Storm. That's usually what it's used against, but nah. Here he has Gem Turtle, something you will see multiple times in this duel. Monster with 2000 defense, and when it's flipped face up you can add a Gem Knight Fusion from your deck to their hand. Gem Knight Fusion is pretty much just polymerization, but you can only use it for Gem Knight monsters. So why use that instead of polymerization? Well, Gem Knight Fusion has a second effect that if it's in the graveyard, you can banish a Gem Knight monster from your graveyard to add Gem Knight Fusion back to your hand. So that way you can recycle it by using Gem Knight Fusion and then getting it back into your hand by banishing one of the fusion materials that you just used. Right, so here I attack his second monster. Hopefully I can defeat it. Nope, it's another Gem Turtle. Fine. So here I place Dimensional Prison face down. Normally I would be okay with just keeping Solemn Warning, but I have Starlight Road, and so that would he play Heavy Storm, I can just negate that and destroy Heavy Storm. Here I let him go with Gem Knight, whatever he's called, I can't remember, but Dimensional Prison banishes it, gets rid of it. Bye bye. My turn again, and I actually draw a monster that I can use. Otherwise I would have gone with Monster Reborn. But usually I keep Monster Reborn for emergencies. And like in the next 2-3 turns I could have used Monster Reborn, but I decided to keep it until later, until it would have been fully necessary, and that I wasn't at a risk. Because let's say he would draw Darkhold next turn, but he would be able to Mystical Space Typhoon Starlight Road first. It's unlikely, but it can happen, and then I would be completely screwed over since I can't revive anything. So I decided to keep Monster Reborn for later. And right now I'm actually just waiting for him to use Gem Knight Fusion, really, so I can negate that with Solemn Warning. But he doesn't use it. He just places a new defense monster, and he lets me go. And I draw Rescue Rabbit, so I'm like, awesome. Rescue Rabbit, go get him. Its effect summons 2 new Cabazels from my deck and overlays them for an Exceed summon. And the monster I decided to go for, I believe, is Evoltsar Lagia. I don't think I went for Dolka, since I'm not really afraid of Gem Knight effects. So I decided to go for Lagia just in case he gets Dark Hole or whatever, or Lightning Vortex or whatever next turn. I destroy Sangan and he gets Tour Guide. Here I'm like, wait a minute, you just added a card with Sangan which brings you to 8 cards, which means that you had 7 cards before when you ended your turn. We both forgot that, so he now still discards a card that he should have discarded at the end of last turn. So he does that and discards Tour Bust from the Underworld, and when that card is sent to the graveyard, you can select 1 card from either player's graveyard and shuffle it back into the deck. And he decides to go with, I believe it's number 17, Leviathan Dragon. Let's see. Yes, he does that indeed. But now I still have the attack of Cabazels left, so I attack directly. Ta-da-dum-bum-bum. And here I just end my turn. Let's see what he can do. He plays Dark Hole, but I negate that with Cabazels. Could have also used Starlight Road here, but I kept it. Now here I use Starlight Road, negate Heavy Storm, destroy it, and summon Stardust Dragon. And here, yeah, he's pretty much screwed. You really can't do much more. Yes, 4,400 life points left, but I have 3 monsters on the field with quite a lot of attack points, especially if you combine them all. So, what can he really do? He summons Rescue Rabbit. Sorry, I'm gonna negate Rescue Rabbit's summon with Solemn Warning, not gonna work. But just in case he has something like Gorz, the Emissary of Darkness, in his hand, I get out Guaiba and use it with Cabazos to XC summon for Dolka. So would he have Gorz, I can negate that effect with Dolka, and I can attack for game, completely safe. That was a duel, junkberserker112. Thanks again for dueling me. Guys, Duel 30 was another deck suggestion video. I currently have 3 deck suggestions that I'm working on, but if you're not one of the 3 people that suggested one to me, Junk Berserker suggested a Gladiator Beast deck, Necruda, I believe, suggested Light Ray deck, and I can't remember who suggested the Spellcaster Lockdown deck, but I'll check my comments on the other duels to find out who that was again. If you're not one of those 3 that has already given me a challenge, you can challenge me now and I'll get to that challenge later. But for now, I'll see you in the next video.